morning students, today we will continue with cell structure and function. You have learned that each living organism has many organs. Studied in class 7th about the digestive organs, which together constitute the digestive system. Each organ in the system performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation, absorption. Similarly, different organs of a plant perform specialized function. For example, root helps in absorption of water and minerals. Leaves are responsible for synthesis of food. Each organ is further made up of smaller parts called tissues. Tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. Paheli realized that an organ is made up of tissues, which in turn are made up of cells. The cell in a living organism is the basic structural unit. You have learned that each living organism has many organs. Also studied that class 7 about digestive organs, which together constitute the digestive system. Each organ performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation, absorption. Some different parts of a plant, organs of a plant perform different specialized functions. Root helps in absorption of water minerals. Each organ is further made up of tissues. A tissue is made up of similar cells and a specific. Paheli realized that an organ is made up of tissues, which in turn are made up of cells. The cell in a living organism, the basic structural unit. Parts of the cell. The basic component of a cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. Cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane, also called plasma membrane. The membrane separates cells from one another, also the cell from the surrounding medium. The basic components of cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. The cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane, also called plasma membrane. The membrane separates cells from one another, also the cell from the surrounding medium. The plasma membrane is porous and allows the movement of substances or materials both inward and outward. It's porous and allows the top materials inwards and outwards. The boundary of the onion cell membrane is covered by another thick covering called as cell wall. The central dense round body in the center is called as nucleus. The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cytoplasm, between the jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane, is called as cytoplasm. We have learned earlier that the cell membrane gives shape to the cell. In addition to the cell membrane, there is another outer thicker layer in cells of plants called cell wall. This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. It needs protection against variation, temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture. They are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. Cells can be observed. The leaf peel of Trades-Cantia, Elodia or Roya can prepare sliders in the case of onion. Cell membrane gives shape to the cell. So cell membrane, there is outer thicker layer in cell of plants called cell wall. The additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. The plant cell need protection against variations in temperature, high wind speed. They are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. पहले ask Bojo if he can observe animal cells. Next is cytoplasm. It is the jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Various other components in the cytoplasm. Present in the cytoplasm. These are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes. Jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Various other components or organelles of cells are present in the cytoplasm. Mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosome, etc. Next is nucleus. It is an important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. It can be stained and seen easily with the help of a microscope. Nucleus separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of materials between cytoplasm and inside of the nucleus. Nucleus is an important component of living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. Can be stained and seen easily with the help of a microscope. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of materials between cytoplasm and inside of the nucleus. Nucleus is another important component of living cell. It is spherical and located in the center of the cell. It can be stained and seen with the help of a microscope. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of materials between cytoplasm and inside of the nucleus. With a microscope of higher magnification, we can see smaller spherical body inside the nucleus. It is called nucleolus. In addition, nucleus also contains thread-like structures called chromosomes. These carry genes and help in inheritance or transfer of characters from parents to offsprings. Nucleus, in addition to role in inheritance, acts as a controlling center factor. So the entire content of living cell is a protoplasm. It includes cytoplasm and nucleus. The protoplasm is the living substance of the cell. The nucleus of the bacterial cell is not well organized like the cells of multicellular organisms. There is no nuclear membrane. The cells having nuclear material without nuclear membrane is called prokaryotic cell. The organisms with these kind of cells are called prokaryotes. Example are bacteria and blue-green algae. Other cells like onion cells, cheek cells have well organized nucleus. Nuclear membrane are designated as eukaryotic. All organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae are called eukaryotes. The nucleus of the bacterial cell is not well organized like the cells of multicellular organisms. There is no nuclear membrane. The cells having nuclear material without nuclear membrane are termed as prokaryotic cells. The organisms with kind of nucleus is called as prokaryotes. Example, bacteria, blue-green algae. The cells like onion cells, cheek cells have well organized nucleus and they are called as eukaryotics. While observing ion cells under the microscope, if you notice any blank looking structures in the cytoplasm, it is called vacuole. It could be single or as big as an onion cell. Cheek cells have smaller vacuoles. Large vacuoles are found in plant cells. Vacuoles in animal cells are much smaller. You might have noticed several colored bodies in the cytoplasm cells of the Trad scantia. These are scattered in the cytoplasm. These are called plastids. There are different colors of plastids. Some of them contain green pigment called chlorophyll. Green color plastids are called chloroplast. They provide green color to. If you may recall that chlorophyll in the chlorophyll is essential for plants. Difference between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell contains cell wall, animal cell do not contain cell wall. Plant cell has a big vacuole, animal cell has a small vacuole. Animal cell has a small vacuole. Plants have plastids. Animals do not have plastids. Animals do not have plastids. Plants have plastids. Animals do not have plastids. Unicellular organisms means have one-celled body, that is right. Muscle cells are not branched. The basic living unit of an organism is cell. Amoeba has irregular shape, that is true. Human nerve cell transmits message from one part of the body to brain. Cytoplasm is a liquid-like structure present in the cell which has cytoplasm, which has cell organelles. Cytoplasm is the liquid water-like substance present in the cell which contains cell organelles. Nucleus is the controlling center of the cell. Nucleus contains chromosome. Chromosomes contain DNA, which contains genes. Genes which store. Cytoplasm contains cell organelles. Eukaryotes nucleus is well developed. Prokaryotes nucleus is not well developed. Eukaryotes DNA is stored in nucleus. Prokaryote DNA is not stored in nucleus. Chromosomes are found in the nucleus of a cell. Cells are basic structural units of living organisms. Chloroplasts help in photosynthesis for plants. Chloroplasts help in photosynthesis. Cell membrane is very important. Cell membrane gives shape to the cell. It separates one cell from another, and also the cell's plasma membrane is porous, helps in the movement of materials both inwards and outwards. The boundary of onion cell covering by another called cell wall. The central dense round body in the center is called nucleus. The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called cytoplasm. Learned earlier that the cell membrane gives shape to the cell. In addition to the cell membrane, there is outer thicker layer in the plants called cell wall. This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. Plant cells need protection against variations in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture. They are exposed to isolation because they cannot move. Thank you, students.